Tonight, under the Northern Lights, the brightest stars in the skating universe. Their competitions complete, now they have fun. It is one of the great pleasures of the Winter Games, the finest skaters in the world, unhindered by rules, free from the scrutiny of judges, skating purely for the joy of it. The skating special performances from Hamar, including Torvill and Dean performing Bolero, the routine that won them gold 10 years ago in Sarajevo. Then to Hafjell for the women's slalom. Switzerland's Vreni Schneider, a double gold medalist in 1988. And Sweden's Pernilla Wiberg, the gold medalist in the Alpine combined at these games, are each looking for a third Olympic gold medal. And tonight...
After he won the silver medal, Elvis Stojko talked about the imprint he hopes to make on the sport that he loves.
It's how you do it. It's not what you do. It's not how many movements can you do in 10 seconds. If you just do one movement with conviction and comes from the blade, because it's skating. It's not where you're doing waist up stuff. You could be doing this, skating on 2 feet, but that's not skating. Skating comes from the blade, and that is where I'm at, and that's what I want to show.
The 1994 silver medalist from Canada, Elvis Stojko.
Elvis said that this is a breakthrough number for him. He said, I got tired of everybody saying you don't have any artistry. He says, I have artistry. This is it.
Finally, a skater that can skate to Van Halen.
You really got it now. Got your size on the what you will. Girl, you really got it now. Got your size just that night. Girl, you really got it now. Got your size on the what you will.
He must have liked the announcement.
Someday this guy's going to learn how to jump.
Awesome.
Indeed. Elvis Stojko.
This is what you do during a guitar solo.
And in moments like that, he bears a slight resemblance to his namesake, Elvis Stojko. Backstage, Lloyd Eisler gets an autograph from Katya Gordeeva. She'll skate next.
The silver medalist at these games, Elvis Stojko, has a heavy bag for boxing in his home, and he's been a kung fu disciple for the past 5 years. This is not a man who gives up without a fight. 6 years ago in Calgary, Brian Boitano won the Olympic gold medal, then retired from amateur competition. He returned, though, for these games. Unlike fellow 1988 gold medalist Ekaterina, Boitano was expected to contend for the gold here in Lillehammer. He didn't, finishing 6th. I talked with Brian, and I asked him if he's happy that his Olympic comeback is over.
I'm really torn. I mean, I wish that I had the opportunity to try the short program over again, but I am glad that it's done.
Regrets?
You know, it's hard to have regrets when a mistake happens that's like such a fluke. I mean, for me, it was a mistake that I haven't made for years in, the short program, and that's really, what put me in 8th place going into the long. It's basically why I didn't have a shot.
Tell me, in layman's terms, how basic the mistake was.
Well, it was, in the short program, the triple axel was the combination. It's a 5/10 deduction for what I did. And basically, it just put me below everybody that didn't make a mistake. Whether they were better or not, it put me below the people that skated clean programs. If I would have had as high a technical mark as I had an artistic mark, I would have been in the top 3 after the short program.
Having viewed it at our broadcast center with a bunch of people who were just standing around and their co-workers, you get the sense that there are people who feel badly for you or who want to feel badly for you. And I'm thinking that you probably don't want that.
No, I don't want people to feel badly for me. I want people to understand. I've been trying to be as truthful as I can about how I feel and about what it's meant to me. But, the other thing is you can also sound melodramatic about the whole thing. I've been through so much and, it's been a really hard road working back to the Olympics. It has, but it's done me good.
You left the game arguably the best ever.
Mm-hmm.
You come back and now you have opened the door for people to say,
right,
maybe not.
Right.
Does that bother you?
They would have said it anyway. If I didn't come back, they would have said it anyway. There's no reason to pull back on the reins because you're scared about putting yourself on the line. You've got to do it to prove something to yourself and to prove that you can still keep up with these guys. And unfortunately, I had a bad night.
Does it matter to you how people remember you?
People are never going to forget Calgary. I never forgot Calgary. People still, talk about Calgary even after this. That's always there. I'm always going to have won in Calgary, and I'm always going to have had a great performance at the time that I needed it. So that's never going to go away. People don't just forget. They remember. Hopefully they'll remember everything. Hopefully they'll remember Calgary. I want them to remember this because you can't always win. I've had a down on this Olympics, but maybe worlds will be up. And life just goes in hills and valleys, and I've just got to wait, for another hill.
I'm kind of surprised to hear you say you're going to Worlds because I really thought that this was it.
It's just not going to be enough for me to do ice shows and to be able to make a living at what I love doing. I'm very fortunate, but I'm a competitor, and I need to find some outlet in my life for that, and maybe it's staying in competition or maybe it's doing something else.
Brian Boitano. Coming up later, more special performances from the Northern Lights Hall, plus last night at the Northern Lights Hall, the most anticipated event of these games, the ladies figure skating competition, concluded in spectacular fashion, with Ukraine's Oksana Baiul edging Nancy Kerrigan for the gold medal. Earlier tonight, I spoke with Nancy and asked her what she thought made the difference between Baiul's gold and her silver.
Well, I didn't see her whole number, and I haven't seen mine yet. but I know how mine felt. It felt great. I was very solid. I didn't miss it. You know, everything was very clean. And the only thing I did see was a replay of my double flip, which didn't even look like a pop. It was just a nice big double flip, although it was supposed to be triple. And they showed a replay I saw of her two-footed triple jumps, and you know, what was the difference? I have no idea, because I think flawless always looks a little bit better, but hey.
In the overview, did the injury to your knee a month ago make a difference at all, do you think?
It sure made a difference in the last month and a half of how I've lived, yeah.
I'm talking about in your physical performance last night, though.
No, because I think I was just strong in my mind, and I knew what I had to do, and if I had to do it a few weeks ago, I could have done it then too, because mentally I was prepared. And I don't know, the only thing is that maybe because of it I had to work harder than I even had before then. I thought I couldn't, but I had to, and I'm in better shape than I ever have been.
What was your goal here? People have different goals. Was your goal a gold medal, or was it to win any medal, or was it just to skate well?
My goal is to skate well, because once, you know, I do that, it's up to judges. It's totally out of my hands, so I can't expect a medal. I can't expect gold. I think a lot of times people get a little too greedy and, you know, expect this stuff, when to be at the Olympic Games means so much in itself. You know, it means you're the best in your country to even make the team here, and it says a lot about a person just to be here.
What happens with Nancy Kerrigan now? Vacation time?
Yep, I'm going tomorrow morning to Disney World, so I'm going to relax for a little while.
Would you consider skating in the '98 Olympics in Nagano?
No. No way. It's too long. It's too much hard work. I've done it for so long, and I deserve a break from it.
Tonya Harding's future is far less certain than Nancy Kerrigan's, and last night Tonya's long, strange trip to the Winter Olympics ended in appropriately bizarre fashion. Mark Phillips has more on Tonya's night and the day after reaction.
A day after her psychodrama on ice, Tonya Harding finally reemerged tonight, her bootlaces well tied. A condition which would have saved her a lot of grief last night, when a torn skate lace was the beginning of the latest tale of Tonya's troubles. Nearing panic as she tried to relace the skate as the clock ticked down toward possible disqualification. Starting her routine on a loose skate and then stopping it. Complaining to the judges that the replacement lace was too short, and then finally being allowed to fix the lace and skate her routine, but still finishing well out of the medals. Even today, as the crowd gathered here for the skating exhibition, the high, or was it low, drama of it all was still on their minds.
Everybody was talking about what happened to Tonya last night.
And what was everybody saying?
She definitely needs some new shoelaces.
With the competition over, the tension and suspense lifted, the day after is usually a time to forget the rivalries of the night before, but it seems too much happened last night to forget. In terms of the drama about Tonya last night, what was your reaction to that?
What drama?
The business with the skate lace.
Skate, my reaction? It happens every time, something, you know, I don't know. What can I say?
Jane Torval and Christopher Dean knew what to say.
I think it's sorry that almost a soap opera incident that you wouldn't even write about should almost take precedence over the Olympics and the sporting achievements. You know, that there's so many athletes that have been working so hard, so many other stories of triumph.
In fact, the skaters' reactions were a lot like the crowd's.
Something that can happen at any time, and for that to happen with Tonya, who's being involved with the controversy and the whole bit, and that sort of thing happening, it was at first it was kind of like, what is this?
What it is the end of the Olympic chapter in Tonya's sorry saga, but not the end of the story.
It's history, and we're enjoying the games.
Do you wish the whole Tonya thing would kind of go away now?
Yes. Fade
Absolutely.
away. Let it fade away. Let Nancy have her glory.
Gold medalist for the second time in their careers. From Moscow, husband and wife, Katya Gordeeva, Sergei Grinkov.
And this performance is poetry.
Referee by Debussy, Katya Gordeeva, and Sergei Grinkov.
They were the only professionals to come back and win a gold medal. And it was probably the best pairs event that I've ever seen. They really were the best of the best.
Thank you.
Lifting his speed, position. It's a technical element, but it's just as an important piece of choreography. Their rapport on the ice is unmatched.
And they have an enviable relationship off the ice as well. The silver medalist in the 1994 Olympic Games, Nancy Kerrigan, skates next.
I remember how cold it was outside in those winter mornings, and he seemed like the only other person in the whole town who had a job to do besides me and my mom. This is Appleton, Wisconsin, population 65,000, and across town a young skater is getting her first cup of warm cocoa. There are thousands of kids like her in hundreds of towns all across America, rising before the sun to get their precious hours on the ice. 27 years ago, in a rink very similar to this in Bowling Green, Ohio, a town very much like Appleton, Wisconsin, I learned to skate. Every Saturday morning, I'd participate in the Learn to Skate programs. There are hundreds of Learn to Skate programs all over this country that develop our Olympic champions. To hear about the hours of hard work, dedication, training, well, for these kids, it's fun, and they can't wait to get on the ice. Angie Folks is just 10 years old, and like any other girl her age, she loves to have fun, and fun for her is on the ice. Nothing you'd rather do than skate?
Because you're always wondering, like if sometimes you just want it, like you see something on TV and you want to try it on the ice, and so you're like, I can't wait to get on the ice, I can't wait to get on the ice.
Second grader Sammy Kozak, well, she's been skating for 5 years, and she's only 8, young enough to have fun in the snow as well as in the rink. Sammy's pretty serious about the piano, but right now skating is #1. She travels 4 hours to Chicago every weekend to skate with a private coach. What's your hardest jump?
My hardest jump has to be my double flip, which is really bad.
Double flip?
Yes.
That's another one I have trouble with.
Double flip.
Double, triple flip?
Double.
Double? Angie also is a budding musician. Her instrument's a clarinet. 3 mornings a week, before dawn, she and her sister Teresa go to the rink for skating lessons. Hockey takes up much of the limited ice time available on local rinks, so skaters practice at all sorts of strange times. The Learn to Skate program prepares these young skaters for everything except, well, maybe for performing in front of an audience. How important is the audience to you? I mean, when they start reacting, is that really...
Yeah, what if they boo?
Oh, when was the last time you were booed?
I've never been booed.
You're never booed. You're just making that up. I really enjoyed my day in Appleton with Angie and Sammy. They're both terrific little skaters. Who knows? But you can bet they'll be there tomorrow morning at the same rink, trying out the moves they'll be watching tonight in the Olympics. So when you see that milk truck tomorrow morning, remember, some kid is out there already skating.
Representing the United States of America.
Nancy Kerrigan's career began just like that. She was 6 years old. It was at the Stoneham Arena in Stoneham, Massachusetts. That was 18 years ago. Now she's a silver medalist. And she skates to the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber, sung by Barbra Streisand.
Overcame more to perform so well in the Olympic Games. Triple flip. So beautiful.
Very difficult for the women to come back and perform today. They competed last night, and then you have the doping and the medal ceremonies and the media. Probably skating on about 6 hours sleep.
If that.
If that.
Nancy Kerrigan, by the margin of 1/10 of 1 point, the silver medalist. Coming later tonight, the gold medalist, Oksana Baiul.
Still to come, Torvalendine dance Bolero. But next,
Time her career is concluded, I think this young lady is going to be among the most popular Olympic champions ever. And she's only 16. The gold medalist from Odessa. Here is Oksana Baiul.
In all my years of skating, I've never seen anyone like Oksana. Everything is perfect.
Easy to see why she once had aspirations of being a ballerina.
This music by Camille Sanson is called The Swan. takes your breath away. Just extra.
And we will see Oksana Baiul.
And now the quick change.
In this moment, we are going to create.
Every position is perfect. Every extension, every look. Not an eyelash out of place.
Among those watching with admiration, Jane Torval and Natalia Mishkutenok. 2 years ago, we had a very special moment when Paul Wiley and Nancy Kerrigan skated together, friends and teammates. Well, for those of you who don't know the story, Viktor Petrenko suggested to his coach and mother-in-law that she take on Oksana Baiul as a student and as a surrogate mother. Now they're going to skate together. The 1992 Olympic gold medalist and the 1994 Olympic gold medalist.
This is a number Victor's been doing for a long time.
Well, they haven't practiced together all that much. Oksana Baiul, Viktor Petrenko.
At 16 years old, you wonder if maybe she can equal Sonja Henie's 3 Olympic gold medals. Versatile, exciting, vivacious.
By the time her career is over, we may run out of adjectives to describe her talents and personality. Jane Torval and Christopher Dean. Bolero is next. Olympic Games. The '84 gold medalist in ice dancing. They won the title in Sarajevo. Jane Torval and Christopher Dean. A reprise of Bolero skated as a tribute to the people of Sarajevo. lot of folks have vivid memories of the scores they posted in Sarajevo. Usova and Julin remember well.
Bolero. And earlier today, in war-torn Sarajevo, residents watched and listened and presumably remembered as Torvill and Dean skated again to Ravel's familiar strains. With
assaulted in a horrifying incident at the U.S. Nationals. A little later in the show, you'll see complete coverage of the attack, including as yet unseen footage. And we'll talk about Nancy's Olympic prospects. But first, to begin our gold medal preview, the gold medalist at the 1988 Calgary Games. He's a 30-year-old with a troublesome knee, steely nerves, and a big heart. Brian Boitano. After the Calgary Olympics, Brian Boitano began a successful ice show, teaming with ladies Olympic champion Ekaterina Witt. His skating had become the standard by which all others were compared. He won 5 consecutive World Professional Championships, but for Brian, a new challenge was a most welcome thought.
I wouldn't have done this, I wouldn't have come back unless I expected myself to be really good. And so I have to live every day with the fact that I've reinstated, and I need to keep pushing myself. I have to be the quality that I wanted to be, the reason that I wanted to come back to this sport, or the amateur side of this sport, and compete in the Olympics, is because I wanted to be at a certain level, and I'm not there yet.
After finishing second at Skate America to Viktor Petrenko and second again to Scott Davis at the U.S. Nationals, many wonder if he still can beat the world's best.
It was so much pressure with everybody expecting so much. I think taking for granted that I would win was a very difficult position for me to be put in, because I never take anything for granted. I wanted to earn my place on the team, and in a certain way, maybe this will help me perform better at the Olympics, because it will let a little bit of the pressure off me, being second place going into Lillehammer.
One pressure that won't go away is a battered, painful knee that has troubled him throughout his comeback.
I wish I could push my body a little bit more. I wish I could work a little bit more with my knee, but I can't. So I have to deal with that. Hopefully now I can maybe add a little bit more going into the Olympics, because my knee's feeling better and better. The game plan is to just keep practicing and doing, you know, the extra triples, the extra 3 triples that I need to do before the Olympics. The program and my conditioning is really, I think it's right there. I think I just need to continue on the road of doing consistent long programs and short programs, and concentrate on putting those 3 triples in, because I think the 3 triples are the key to me doing a performance that I expect from myself.
I think Brian is his own best and worst critic, and he's a perfectionist. I think that's a part of Brian. I think that's what makes him successful. I don't think that was coached at all. I think I would like to have him have less of it, so that he could be more at peace with himself, because sometimes even when he's fabulous, it's still not enough for him.
5 years after claiming the sport's greatest prize, Brian Boitano is pushing himself again, this time for different reasons, motivated by something deeper. And his search for excellence has inevitably brought him back to the Olympic Games. The eyes of the man who surprised. He was more than Boitano's equal at the Nationals. Conquering the 1988 Olympic champion, Scott Davis of Great Falls, Montana, exploded into the national limelight at Joe Louis Arena, bringing the house to its feet with a performance that combined art, intensity, and superb execution.
When I was younger, I had gone into the rink and I thought about, okay, I'll set my little goals and see how far I can get, and the Olympics was the ultimate dream, and tonight I reached it, and I can't believe it.
Davis, voted the 1993 Skater of the Year, is unassuming off the ice, but what a contrast when he performs. Bold, focused, smooth, his jumps tight, his spins ferocious, and at the Nationals, he claimed a well-deserved victory.
Skating has been known to wait your turn, and the judging has often been criticized, and I think this was a great coup for skating. The media and the public often laugh about our judging system, and often feel like they don't judge what they see, and they obviously did this time.
Still ahead, the attack and the aftermath, Nancy Kerrigan's difficult road. And next, Kurt Browning, Canada's best hope for gold in Norway. Dorothy Hamill's gold medal preview, presented by
Welcome back to our gold medal preview. Now we focus on a born performer who many consider the world's best in men's singles. But Kurt Browning of Edmonton, Canada, is still waiting to prove it on the sport's biggest stage.
I used to live in Carolina. I used to play a lot of hockey, and I used to figure skate at the same time. It really bothered other guys. They liked to tease me, especially the guys on the teams we used to play hockey against. This is for all those guys that ever teased me or wondered why I was figure skating. Stay tuned, watch this, you'll figure it out. Hi, I'm Kurt Browning, Canada's 4-time world figure skating champion.
Kurt Browning is a winner. He grabbed his 4th world championship last year, but he's yet to strike Olympic gold. And to earn that prize, confidence is a must.
In Prague, I was the one in control of my destiny. And when my music came on, it was me who was in charge, not necessarily an injury or a nagging feeling of being scared. And I don't know who can skate scared, really. And I've never, ever skated scared before.
That is until 1992, when Browning took to the Olympic ice in Albertville as one of the favorites, then had his ambition doused by uncertainty.
In Albertville, I felt like someone else was pulling the strings, that if I'd have just had another month or maybe another couple months, that I would have been ready for this. But I felt like I just walked into a room full of people, was expected to give a speech, and I was wearing my boxer shorts. Really, I just didn't feel comfortable there. I learned so much from Albertville, and I learned a lot about my own character and who I am and what my skating is to me. And it's not necessarily winning the Olympics, that's for sure.
After his Olympic disappointment, Browning dedicated himself to preparing, fully realizing now the enormity of what's ahead.
The Olympics is almost like this momentous event that comes from the heavens, and the whole world is interested. So people who never watched figure skating are now watching figure skating. And all those things make it the center of the world for about 4.5 minutes. I think that's what's different.
At these Olympics, a field with reinstated pros could keep Kurt from becoming Canada's first Olympic champion.
At the Olympics, I think it's going to be great because we've got Brian Boitano, Viktor Petrenko. We've got the best skaters going in the world right now, and they're going to be on the ice at the same time. And it's going to make for a worldwide classic skating event. It's going to make my job a lot harder. But it'd be really good to beat Brian Boitano. I've never really been able to compete against him on par. When he retired, I still was sort of coming up. And so I think that we're both looking forward to competing against each other on par. And I hope we both have a good day.
Although Kurt's positive attitude has taken him to great heights, the memories of his Olympic setback still loom large. For Kurt, the best way to forget that dark time is to perform just once as he's imagined, perfectly.
So if I have a fantasy, I want 4.5 minutes of ballsy, I'm not going to miss anything, I'm having so much fun, watch how great this jump is going to be feeling. That's what I'd like. Who cares what medal I get? If I had that during the Olympic Games and stop at the end and just stand there and smile at people, and I think that's what I'd like.
Ahead on our gold medal preview, he's as cool as ice, Canada's Elvis Stojko.
There are many in skating who'd like to see Kurt Browning unleash the performance of his life. And in Lillehammer, he'll probably need to skate almost perfectly considering the depth of talent expected on the Olympic ice. Among those who'll challenge Browning is a countryman, a fellow Canadian, and a free spirit whose charisma may remind some a little bit of his namesake. Folks, Elvis will be going to Norway. More than 40 years ago, the United States was introduced to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. His hysteria-inducing, hip-shaking sent shockwaves across America. Recently, Canada introduced a new Elvis to the world. Whoever said the king was dead? Elvis Presley had the golden voice. Elvis Stojko has golden aspirations. This 21-year-old from Ontario is one of Canada's brightest figure skating stars, and his search for his own fame started early.
Ever since I was little, I've always really pushed myself and really gone towards the top. No matter what I placed, 10th, 11th, 12th, I was still gearing for the top, and I was able to push through it and get higher and higher to my goal.
This Ice King knows he can't waltz into the winner's circle, so unlike some in the sport, he's committed to practice.
I guess the outlook and the total training concept will be towards gearing up for the Olympics. At home, I train about like 5 days a week. I don't train weekends. I usually take off because I train really hard during the week. I like to relax.
Elvis's definition of relaxation doesn't reside in the dictionary, and he doesn't know the meaning of the word scared. He's ignoring the pressure of his lofty position.
Being ranked number 2 is basically a spot that I've taken at Worlds in Prague, and you can say that like some skaters would carry it around with them all year, but for me, I don't carry it around with me. I sort of put it back up on the shelf.
This skate king can be shaken, however. In fact, when he heard that the pros were back in the Olympics, he was sort of all shook up.
At first, when I heard about the rule about Boitano and the professionals coming back, first I didn't like the idea. I wasn't for it, to the fact that they've had their time, it's over, let the younger skaters come through and do their own thing. And now that the rule has gone by and everything's sort of happened, then can't really change anything. But I've accepted it, and now I'm on to do my own thing, and I'm out there to compete whoever is going to show up.
The king isn't dead. Elvis is coming to Norway.
Up next, the stirring, splendid ways of the young man from Kiev. He's back to defend his Olympic title, Viktor Petrenko. And coming up, exclusive coverage of the attack on Olympian Nancy Kerrigan. This Dorothy Hamill Golden Memory is presented by KitchenAid for the way it's made. The 12th Olympic Winter Games, Innsbruck, Austria, and the world was captivated by a 19-year-old from Riverside, Connecticut, Dorothy Hamill.
When I was standing on the podium in 1976 and the American flag was being raised and they were playing the national anthem, I remember feeling so many different thoughts and emotions. It's everything from, gosh, I can't believe I've fulfilled my lifelong dream, to a little bit afraid, great sense of relief. You don't know what's ahead, but you thank heavens it's all over. And really, thinking of my parents and the whole team that it takes, not just me, that it was my mom and my dad and my coaches, and that all that hard work finally paid off for everybody. For decades, there was a sports machine successful beyond all others. The Soviet Union nurtured its athletes from childhood, guiding them toward Olympic success, toward a day when they would bring honor, glory, and publicity to the Soviet state. Now that empire is gone, but the echoes remain. Skaters trained the Soviet way are still with us, still dominating. And among them, among the last of what may be a dying breed, is the defending Olympic champion, a Ukrainian whose love of competition runs deep.
I feel happy because the all's over and very good for me, because it's my dream to be an Olympic champion.
Almost 2 years ago, this is what we saw, the consummate artist, his expressive performance, the fluid motion. The work of this master was awe-inspiring. At the Albertville Olympics, his piercing blades carved a work of art on a white canvas. Viktor Petrenko had his treasured masterpiece.
He is truly like the old-fashioned athlete, that he does it for the joy of the sport. He loves the training. He loves to compete. He loves to be in the shape of his life. He performs for the audience, but first and foremost, he's an athlete.
After Albertville, Viktor had tunnel vision. He was heading for the bright lights of the big show. it was time to drop the curtain on a great amateur career. But the warmth of the Olympic spirit never left his heart, and when he was reinstated, he had a chance to pursue something special, back-to-back golds.
First of all, I've got the professional feeling of the competing and how I have to be in front of the people, how I have to do my practicing, and actually I learn a lot from the professional, and I learn a lot how I can perform and what I have to do for this.
What Viktor gained from his time as a pro was invaluable. His self-confidence was fueled, and though his bank account is suffering, the new Viktor needed this Olympic comeback.
I said, Viktor, you will lose $750,000 to $1 million. 2 tours, professional competitions, all the exhibitions. What if you finish 5th? What if it hurts your reputation? And Viktor says, I am 22 years old. I am an athlete. The Olympics says I can come back, be reinstated. I go back. I am athlete.
I feel like an athlete. That's why I made a decision to turn back to amateur. And I know the professional will come back, and I'll get enough time to be professional.
Next on our gold medal preview, the favorites in what should be the best Olympic pairs competition ever. When we return.
This will be the second Olympics for Jenny Mino and Todd Sand, but their first together. Each had a different partner at the 1992 Olympics in Albertville, France. Now, whether or not this new association produces a medal in Norway, you might say Mino and Sand have already shared something of value. They've learned that sport and romance can mix. Though Todd Sand was sporting a shiner from a recent practice snafu, he and Jenny Mino are at the moment living happily ever after.
Well, Todd and I spend a lot of time together off the ice. We spend most of our time together on and off the ice, and I think we have a very special relationship that a lot of other pair teams might not have, and I think that shows in our skating.
Love can do funny things, and it may have been the missing ingredient for Mino and Sand. A 5th place at the '93 Worlds was good, but taking gold at the U.S. Nationals was better. A perfect prelude to Norway.
I think it was a good performance. It wasn't our best, but we had some problems early in the year due to injury, and I think it's turned out very well, and I think we know what we have to do to skate better at the Olympics and the World Championships.
So Lillehammer awaits, where these two won't be taking the games or their relationship for granted.
Well, I think it's a dream come true just going to the Olympics and competing for your country. I think that we know what we have to do. We just go there and skate the best we can.
I think we have a very loving relationship. We both have the same goals career-wise, and off the ice we really enjoy each other's company.
If Mino and Sand capture a medal in Lillehammer, the earth wouldn't shake, but the skating world might quake a little. That's because the last 8 Olympics, the pairs competition has been dominated by Soviet-trained athletes. This time, bidding for the pairs gold are rival teams from Russia, a duo from St. Petersburg who've battled personal turmoil, and a pair from Moscow whose ice-capades led to a beautiful baby girl. For most of this century, Russia and its surrounding republics were mysterious places, millions of people living in the shadows of unbending rule. But to watch their athletes on ice was to glimpse a freedom of expression yearning to be exposed. Ekaterina Gordeeva and Sergei Grinkov, at the 1988 Olympics, they extended the great Soviet tradition in pairs. At the Albertville Games, it was this couple, Natalia Mishkutenok and Artur Dmitriev. In 1992, they received a standing ovation at the Olympics. those in attendance enchanted with the ease of their moves. They've made the difficult look so beautiful, pushing the boundaries of their event. Everywhere breathtaking moments, but they've never wanted their athleticism to overtake their art.
We must show our moves like emotion. Very strong moves, very strong steps, elements, you know, for take everything together for music, you know, but emotion too.
When they turned pro, there was no one left to conquer. And since then, there have been difficulties. Natalia battling a weight problem. Now reinstated, there's a challenge to unite them. Gordeeva and Grinkov, who will force them to their limits.
We saw and we think what we can do better than Gordeeva and Grinkov. But I think we think about our program
it's
more.
Most important.
It's more important for us.
Gordeeva and Grinkov have many admirers. Among them, Natalia and Artur's coach, Tamara Moscovina.
Gordeeva and Grinkov are very dangerous competitors, rivals, as they look very beautiful. They skate very nicely, very easy, very light, very elegant, and she looks very beautiful.
Gordeeva and Grinkov took their special appeal to pro competitions and continued their dominance, continued to perfect their routines. Although at the '88 Calgary Games, many said they were just about perfect. Now, 6 years later, they still have reasons to summon another Olympic effort.
We decide that we're strong enough already and we can reinstate and try to skate in Olympic Games.
Married since the '88 Olympics, there's a new arrival too, a baby girl, Daria. And it seems the proud father, Sergei, is thinking of a skating career for his daughter. Here, he and Daria practice a lift.
She's beginning to walk and run. And so every day is something different. She's getting bigger every day. So we're actually very happy, and we're very missing her when we're far from home.
Even now in a new world, the old ways are still with us. Elegant Russians will duel again in the pairs, contrasting styles, contrasting looks. The couple who mesh so well, a picture of balance and harmony, their love and passion so evident as they perform. They're part of an impressive winning tradition. Again, part of a pairs competition with another daring, dominant Russian couple. But this time, with the Soviet state gone, they're skating not as much for a nation as they are for themselves. That's not the end of the pair story, however. You see, the return of the highly regarded Russians from the pro ranks wasn't welcome news to a Canadian couple fresh off winning the 1993 World Championships. Meet Lloyd. Meet Isabelle.
I think his strength is getting through everything. Nothing for him is an obstacle.
She is, the artistic side of our pair, and no question that softer side of our pair.
Lloyd Eisler and Isabelle Brasseur have combined to form Canada's #1 pairs team. Together on the ice, they're enchanting. Take off the skates and that symmetry fades. Oh yes, they're friends, but hardly two of a kind. For example, check out Lloyd's tattoo.
We're completely different. Neither one of us is the same in any respect. Our off-ice activities, our on-ice demeanor, our sort of the way we look at life. I think the only thing that we do have exactly in common is our goals, right?
Yep. This accommodating relationship produced a gold medal at last year's Worlds, proving that opposites not only attract, but can also succeed.
I think we need a good friendship off the ice, so it shows on the ice that you care for each other, even if you're not married or if you're not in love, just that you care for the other person.
A bronze at the last Olympics built confidence, but left room for improvement. And though there's a deep Olympic field headed by Mishkutenok and Dmitriev, Eisler isn't backing down.
This time we're going for ourselves. We're not going for the public, we're not going for the media, we're not going for anybody. Last year we proved that we are, on any given day, the best team in the world.
In this pair, Lloyd provides the confidence, Isabelle the conscience, considering life beyond skating.
We're lucky to skate, and we're lucky to have people around to love us, and that we're lucky that he's around to love me, and I'm around to love him, and that we're good friends.
Coming up, the dance legends, England smashing Torvill and Dean. And later, Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding. It's Team America in turmoil. We'll review the saga, the shock in ladies singles.
We welcome you back to our gold medal preview, a look at the 1994 Olympic figure skating competition. Just ahead, the nightmare that became real for Nancy Kerrigan and how it has affected her preparation for the upcoming Winter Games. But now let's talk for a moment about the dance competition. In Norway, the United States will be represented by one pair, the national champions Elisabeth Punselin and Jared Swallow, who incidentally were married in September. Now in Lillehammer, these newlyweds will find themselves in a loaded dance field full of medal contenders. A field that, in addition to several strong Russian entries, includes a legendary British pair back for an encore. And now let's watch Torvill and Dean's historic Olympic performance from the Sarajevo Games. American Olympic City, you'll find Torvill and Dean's chief competition for the dance gold. Right here in Lake Placid, the Russians have come to stay. Maya Usova and Alexander Zulin, the defending world champions. Last summer, they left the turbulence of Moscow behind for the quiet of this upstate New York resort with its typical American conveniences. Maya likes the improved phone service. Alexander the chance to watch his favorite old movies.
We love American public and American people, and we guess they love us.
In Norway, Usova and Zulin expect to be crowned again, sure that they can eclipse any royal showing by Torvill and Dean.
This couple for us legendary. Of this couple history, and we're not afraid, Torvill and Dean, and we guess this competition will be very interesting.
The team who became a world champion, the stunning grace of 16-year-old Oksana Baiul, and an exclusive look at that shameful day in Detroit.
In the mid-'80s, the skating sensation was Germany's Ekaterina Witt, who won Olympic gold in '84 and '88. She's back, seeking to become the first since Sonja Henie to win 3 Olympic titles. But Witt and the rest of the ladies' field will have to deal with the new sensation, a prodigy from Kiev, a gifted teenager with an incredible story. Here's the new face, the teen who could capture your heart in Lillehammer. With her beauty, precocious poise and grace, Oksana Baiul is a swiftly rising star. This tiny dancer has a presence that's breathtaking. Her performances are moving, utterly elegant. It was last year in Prague when it all changed for her overnight. At age 15, she became one of the youngest skaters ever to win the World Championship. Suddenly, Oksana's name and face was everywhere. People wanted to know how this radiant young skater, with her blades of gold, had become the world champion.
After my skate, I sat in the dressing room and my coach came flying in, and then my second coach kissed me and congratulated me. I didn't understand anything and he said, "Oksana, you won." It was a shock to me. I couldn't even have imagined it.
But it has been a daunting struggle for Oksana. Her father abandoned the family when she was a baby, and her mother died 2 years ago. Utterly alone, Oksana began sleeping on a cot at the rink where she practiced. When coach Galina Zmievskaya heard of Oksana's plight, she and skater Viktor Petrenko provided Baiul with a new family, one filled with love and support.
I told everyone the special is her movements on the ice, because her movements on us looks like a real woman, you know. Also when she's doing the jump, that makes her program perfectly.
Petrenko is not the only one with great expectations for Oksana. New fans everywhere are hoping for gold when she takes the Olympic ice in Norway. Oksana, however, has set more modest goals.
First of all, I do not want to go to the Olympics to win or to win some placement, but I want to go there to show my new program and to please the public. Any placement will be extra, a bonus.
For the rest of the world, the bonus will be the chance to watch this dazzling new star as she dances, glides, and lights up the ice in Lillehammer. So young, so talented, we're left to wonder what great things are ahead for Oksana in this sport and in her life. Now, to watch Oksana Baiul is to see a skater with extraordinary grace, a skater with the instincts of a ballerina. But ladies figure skating has another side, an athletic side. And right now, the queen of the jumpers is a 20-year-old born in Nice, France.
I like the figure skating very much because it's very completely. There is some artistic and some technical, and we can do the both together and mix it and to be very strong and soft at the same time. This is good.
She's not like the others, a bit bigger, a bit stronger. Surya Bonaly likes to take chances. Her routine has been called gymnastics on ice, and in Lillehammer, she's ready to break some new ground. Ladies skating has never seen a quadruple jump completed in competition, and no French woman has ever landed the gold. Surya's mom still guides her career, but additional coaching help has refined her program. This year, she's traded in some of the athletics for artistry. A few jumps are out, but hitting the quad is still a goal, provided she can find suitable footwear.
I think the first problem is to find a very good pair of shoes, of boots, and I think like this it should be good, that's why I have to change. I think this is a big problem for me because I can do everything, but when you don't get exactly the good material, it's difficult to be confident and to be strong.
So if the shoe fits, Ms. Bonaly might be fitted for gold in '94.
Next, the incredible events at the National Championships, the attack and the aftermath, and the damage to America's Olympic prospects. After these messages.
KitchenAid owners across America are celebrating. The classic stand mixer is 75 years old. 75 years of good food and great memories.
It was a wedding present.
And it still works.
Grandma gave me hers. Then I bought a blue one to match my new kitchen.
Do you own an old KitchenAid? Now the search for the oldest KitchenAid stand mixer is on. The owner will receive $7,500 and the KitchenAid countertop collection.
Happy 75th anniversary, KitchenAid!
Her elegance and beauty has reminded some of the young Katharine Hepburn. And after winning bronze at the '92 Olympics, it appeared a gold medal was in Nancy Kerrigan's immediate future. Then came the '93 World Championships, where she finished 5th. Suddenly there was doubt. This season, however, the old Nancy was back, and arriving at the U.S. Nationals, she was ready to make a statement to the skating community, but she never got the chance. Here's our Kevin Cusick.
So when we came to Detroit, very much excited about the national championships, the first practice we went to was Nancy Kerrigan's. We taped the practice, we shut off the camera, and while we did, a man with a club tried to take away Nancy's dream. It seemed to be a normal practice session for Nancy Kerrigan as she checked in with her coaches, Evie and Mary Scottfold. Although she said she was bothered by a sore leg, she was practicing her free program, getting set to defend her national championship. She finished her skate, exited the ice, and went down this hallway, and that would change her path to the Olympics. While a man waited behind this curtain, barely visible to our camera, just seconds before the camera was turned off. This man, who appears as an obscure shadow through magnified video, assaulted the Olympic gold medal favorite. In an instant, the story at Nationals became not who won, but what happened to Nancy Kerrigan. Her crisis unfolded on the world stage as the story at Nationals.
Nancy Kerrigan will not be competing in the 1994 legs United States Figure Skating Championships. The reason is a thigh contusion or bruise that's associated with knee swelling.
I was just really upset and hurt, angry. It's hard to explain. I just really wanted to skate.
Can't believe that one human being would deliberately hurt her.
But someone did deliberately hurt Nancy Kerrigan. We go back to the practice session Thursday, January 6th, and there, invisible to everyone, a man had carefully positioned himself inside Cobo Arena. And everyone wondered, where did he come from? He would have had to have come from this direction, and then he would have been standing behind this blue curtain here. He would have attacked her on the run, hit her. She was right here when she went down, and our cameras at that point showed her in the excruciating pain that she was in. At that point, there were people helping her, and someone said he ran this way. So if we come down this way, you'll see that he went down this hallway here, and it looks as though on the videotape that there was a possibility he didn't know which way to go, and possibly did not have an escape route. Went out to the right. So he must have apparently run through this door here. When he came around, this is where I saw the person working at the arena, and it's this glass door here, plexiglass door, that he popped out.
It was full speed, and he just bust through the door and ran straight on out. And then I didn't see him.
How did he get around the rail? There's a rail here.
I know he came through it. He went through like down and under, but he came through with full force.
Did you get a look at him?
I saw him.
After this incredible incident, a flurry of activity would heighten this drama.
Tall white guy with a leather jacket on.
Our cameraman, Gene Samuels, continued to roll as security guards frantically tried to find him. But by then, he was gone. And as we watched Nancy's dad carry his daughter to safety, who could have imagined that this was the image we would be left with when Nancy Kerrigan came to Nationals?
I really wanted to be out there and perform, but it was out of my hands at that point.
Although she did not skate at Nationals, she would not be denied a chance to compete at the Winter Olympics in Lillehammer. Nancy will compete again. So as we try to put this bizarre story behind us, a bewildering turn of events now clouds ladies figure skating yet again. A story even more unfathomable. Tonya Harding, the champion of the U.S. Nationals, has ended up in the middle of the events surrounding the attack. She's only 23, but nonetheless a veteran in the ladies division. As a youth, she honed her skills at a rink at the local mall. Her remarkable success would generate headlines and expectations. In 1991, she was the U.S. national champion and took silver at Worlds. This time, her national title is tainted, a premeditated attack with those accused in the plot, part of Tonya Harding's inner circle.
Dorothy's closing comments when we return to the gold medal preview.
The Olympics, the ultimate test, will soon arrive for these exceptional skaters. I remember 1976, the Innsbruck Olympics, and what was going through my mind. In the final moments, these athletes will lace their skates, think of their programs one last time, and most of all, try to relax as they prepare to seize their moment in Olympic history. Thanks for being with us for this gold medal preview.
What we have here, Tonya, Jeff, is a lack of fiduciary awareness. No pay rent, no stay apartment.
Oh, yeah? Well, listen, I have dreams, big dreams. And if I have to scrimp and save to skate my way to big fat corporate endorsements, then so be it.
Well, I'll say one thing for that wife of yours.
Ex-wife.
She's sure got spunk.
A brand new morning, which brings me one day closer to my ultimate dream of representing my country at the Winter Olympiad in Lillehammer, Norway.
Yeah, and from there, we cash in on your gold medal, make a buttload of money, and then go to Hollywood. Maybe even meet Hef.
Oh, Jeff. Well, I would embrace the opportunity to go to the Playboy Mansion and meet important celebrities like Charlie Sheen. We must remember to never forget. It's really all about the skating. That's a really nice outfit you got there. Hey, Nancy, you want to grab a couple of pictures after the show? Hey, Nancy, just how far is that bug up your butt?
Gee, Tonya has a lot of spunk. What if people start liking her more than me? Maybe I should stage an attack on myself and implicate Tonya. That'll get those candy-ass judges on my side, and win the affection of the entire world.
Gee, that Nancy sure is stuck up. Perhaps having her legs broken would teach her some much-needed manners.
Gee, maybe if I attack Nancy Kerrigan, Jodie Foster will finally start answering my letters.
Gee, my costume's bunching up something fierce. How's a girl supposed to land a triple axel with a wedgie?
Why me? Why anyone? Why not that prepubescent blonde girl? Is she annoying or what? Why?
You knew that your penis was missing, is that correct? Correct.
This just in. Figures close to Tonya Harding have been implicated in the assault on rival skater Nancy Kerrigan. Film at 11.
Bleeding.
Jeff?
What did you feel, sir?
Jeff!
I mean, I got really hurt real bad.
Mom, I'm so nervous. Mom, I'm gonna go out there and do what I do best. Tell the truth.
Look, honey, I know I ain't been the perfect mother to you, okay? I tell you, you suck. I hit you with the hairbrush. And yeah, there was that time that I pushed you down the stairs. But I do know this. The truth is the last thing you should tell those people. Now go out there and say that thing your lawyer said. I know about lawyers. I've been married 7 times. Right? All right. Thanks. Yeah, all right, go.
I have devoted my entire life to one objective. Winning an Olympic gold medal for my country.
Give me a break.
This is my last chance. I ask for your...
but you gotta hand it to her, Nancy.
And the opportunity to represent my country.
The kid's got spunk.
For the best figure skating performance of my life.
Kerrigan even had to be coached to smile. Now listen carefully to the off-camera voice that has to tell her to smile, honey.
Smile, honey. What's this for?
Well, this is going to be uplink to most of the stations across the country that are eager to hear about you.
Do we have an attitude problem here?
We just wanted to welcome you back.
During a parade, Kerrigan complained to Mickey Mouse. It's so corny, so dumb. I hate it. The most corny thing I've ever done. Disney also arranged for Kerrigan to make appearances on the morning talk shows. Today in L.A., viewers got only an empty chair until Kerrigan finally showed up only seconds before the end of the show.
Hi, Southern California.
Apparently, somebody forgot to remind Nancy Kerrigan that Disney is paying her a reported $2 million to make television appearances like these, a movie and a TV deal. It looks like Disney has a frosty ice princess on their hands. Yes, and like it or not, you're going to get a lot more of Icy Nancy. Today she signed yet another multi-million-dollar deal, this time with a Revlon cosmetics company. She's already got deals with Campbell's Soup and, of course, Reebok. And President Clinton today invited Nancy and the entire Olympic team to the White House. It is not known, though, if Tonya Harding got the same invitation.
Maybe it was just...
Went out to the right, so he must have apparently run through this door here. When he came around, this is where I saw the person working at the arena, and it's this glass door here, plexiglass door, that he popped out.
It was full speed. And he just bust through the door and ran straight on out. And then I didn't see him.
How did he get around the rail? There's a rail here.
I know he came through it. He went through like down and under, but he came through with full force.
Did you get a look at him?
I saw him.
After this incredible incident, a flurry of activity would heighten this drama.
Tall white guy with a leather jacket on.
Our cameraman, Gene Samuels, continued to roll as security guards frantically tried to find him. But by then, he was gone. And as we watched Nancy's dad carry his daughter to safety, who could have imagined that this was the image we would be left with when Nancy Kerrigan came to nationals?
I really wanted to be out there and perform, but
It was out of my hands at that point.
Although she did not skate at nationals, she would not be denied a chance to compete at the Winter Olympics in Lillehammer. Nancy will compete again. So as we try to put this bizarre story behind us, a bewildering turn of events now clouds ladies figure skating yet again. A story even more unfathomable. Tonya Harding, the champion of the U.S. Nationals, has ended up in the middle of the events surrounding the attack. She's only 23, but nonetheless a veteran in the ladies division. As a youth, she honed her skills at a rink at the local mall. Her remarkable success would generate headlines and expectations. In 1991, she was the U.S. national champion and took silver at Worlds. This time, her national title is tainted. A premeditated attack, with those accused in the plot part of Tonya Harding's inner circle.
Dorothy's closing comments when we return to the gold medal preview. Dorothy Hamill's gold medal preview, presented by the all-new Ford Mustang. It is what it was, and more. By KitchenAid, celebrating 75 years of premium quality stand mixers, hand mixers, and blenders. KitchenAid, for the way it's made. And by the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
The Olympics, the ultimate test, will soon arrive for these exceptional skaters. I remember 1976, the Innsbruck Olympics, and what was going through my mind. In the final moments, these athletes will lace their skates, think of their programs one last time, and most of all, try to relax as they prepare to seize their moment in Olympic history. Thanks for being with us for this gold medal preview.